and Cybercore from Vietnam. Will they defeat HG.Longzhu and become the CFS 2015 Grand Champions? We'll have to wait and see. Now, before the match begins, we will give a short interview of the players.
You guys, we can only imagine how nervous or excited the players must feel in anticipation of the coming match. First, I'd like to interview PENTA Sport. So, how are you feeling right now?
Really confident.
Is that all you've got to say?
Yes.
Well, we can see some confidence here, but China says the trophy is theirs. Do you think you can take the trophy from China?
It's not true.
You think you can take it? Okay, and do you have anything to say to HG? Do you have anything to say to HG?
Good luck and have fun.
Well, good luck to everyone, and back to you.
Now, let's see what their opponents think. This is the first time that HG has come this close to the championships. How do you feel?
这是你们离冠军最近的一回，现在你们感觉怎么样？
感觉很兴奋。
I'm very excited.
All right, so are the fans. Now, do you have anything to say to PENTA Sports?
你们对 PENTA Sports 有什么想说的吗？
我们今天代表的不仅是汉宫，还是中国所有的职业 CF 战队，而且还有现场的所有 CFer， 还有电视机前的 CFer。这个冠军我们一定会拿下。
We are representing not just our team, we represent all the CFS team in all over China in front of the TV and the audience. We will take the champion.
Well, that really got the crowd going. Now, before the final competition, we will have a shaking of hands and then proceed to their respective booths. Now, let's have a warm round of applause for our CFS 2015 Grand Finalists.
And now, without further ado, let's start the final round of CFS 2015 Grand Finals!
Good afternoon and welcome to the final match here at the Crossfire Stars 2015 Grand Finals live from Guangzhou, China. My name, of course, is Selfish Guy, joined once again by Mike Star, and there you have it. You've seen your two teams that will be playing here for the big prize, HG.Longzhu and PENTA Sports. Personal thoughts on the matter here, Mike Star?
It's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, HG.Longzhu home crowd advantage, as well as the form going into the final, having not yet dropped a map in the competition. PENTA Sports, though, they've overcome some pretty tough teams to make it here.
Yeah, I mean, they've had to go up against EPLZ, who they actually did in the end lose to, but they made it through, I guess, the wildcard system. They've made it all the way here to the grand finals, which is actually a kind of a lucky result, I guess, in the end there for them, because they were technically knocked out and then brought back through that wildcard system. So to see them here in the grand finals perhaps is a little bit of a surprise, but obviously PENTA Sports, they're going to make the most of it, and HG, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, certainly will, but you can't underestimate some of the opponents that PENTA Sports have beaten on the way here. You had Cybercore, of course, the Vietnam team that played second at the CFS 2014 Grand Finals. So really that in itself is quite an achievement, and they certainly are deserving of their spot here. You can only beat who's in front of you, and if the system allows you to get through to this spot, well, you've definitely earned your place.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the flip side, though, we've seen HG already go through some fairly difficult teams as well. Pacific Macta, who ended up coming third at this event, and also the previous Crossfire Stars Grand Final. So certainly nothing to scoff at on the side of HG either.
No, and they've been in really good form, and what's been key for their form as well has been their teamwork, and particularly I think their backup players are probably the best going around in a competition.
Yeah, certainly WQ I think has been extremely impressive for HG.Longzhu. Certainly been finding his form as we enter towards these later stages of the tournament, and now that we're here in the finals, well, he's going to have to really fire up and bring it towards the PENTA guys, because it's still not going to be an easy challenge here up against PENTA for HG.
No, not at all. So WQ will have to get his timing right. That's been the key to his play, his timing, his positioning, playing that backup role, getting those flanking sort of kills, and really supporting his sniper and order and NP in particular has been very impressive. So some really smart, intelligent play coming out from WQ. But across the board, like I said, the teamwork has been very impressive from HG, and generally they've made the least amount of mistakes going throughout the competition, and which is why they're the favourite going into this. They're probably the most efficient and most effective out of all the teams.
Yeah, certainly the word on the street is that HG are going to be having, I guess, a bit of an advantage coming into this one. But having a look back towards PENTA, I feel like a lot of their players are as well starting to hit their form as they start to head towards the later stages of the tournament. Rain, I think, for me, is one of the ones that's been sort of standing out. We've seen him picking up quite a few, or I guess numerous rounds for his team.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree. Loons as well has been very good. Flex has been popping up. But I guess the biggest question mark out of all the players going into this grand final for me is FaZe. I think whilst he is the order, I think his output as an order is significantly lower than NP's.
Yeah, certainly is. I mean, we've seen NP, he's come up huge in a few rounds, getting a lot of entry frags as well with that sniper rifle. So certainly doing a lot in the fragging department there for HG, as well as doing, I guess, those in-game calls and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I tend to agree with you in that respect. I think NP is probably a little bit stronger man for man there for FaZe, but you could probably say that for a lot of the players there for HG.
Yeah, I would say on paper, this one should definitely go to HG. There's experience is there with some of the players. You've got the younger talent in there as well. And so really, it's a case of, on paper, this should be a pretty easy mark for them. But paper means not much once you get into that server. Once you get into the competition, anything can happen, really. And we've seen PENTA Sports come through with some very strong victories as well and show some resilience within those matches.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's still going to be difficult here for PENTA Sports, and I think one thing for them is they're going to have a little bit of self-belief, because obviously if you've got everyone around you telling you that HG is going to win, then you might perhaps start to believe that yourself, and I think that would be sort of a death sentence there for PENTA Sports. So certainly a bit of self-belief is something they're going to need coming into this grand final.
I completely agree there. Mentally, you have to be in that right framework, that right position as well. Especially since you are in Guangzhou, China, you're in the home of the enemy. The crowd here is undoubtedly massively biased towards HG. The guys here, we were mingling out in the crowd during the last match and before the last match as well, and there are so many people here who are really pumped up to see HG take it home for their country.
Yeah, a lot of Chinese flags coming out among the crowd. Obviously, the home team, but I think we saw a flag which stretched about 8 rows across. So that was pretty crazy. Like 8 people wide, this one flag. It's over on the right side of us. So I don't know. If you have a crowd shot, have a look for that flag.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's really good to see the support here in the crowd. And something that struck me as well while we're mingling with the people is that there's a lot of females here, a lot of girls here as well. And it's really good to see them getting into esports as well, because obviously where we're from, they're not into the scene as much. So it's great to see that it's not a 50-50 by any stretch. It's still male dominated. But it's really interesting to see culturally as well how well accepted esports here is in China.
Yeah, really great to see. Certainly gives me a little bit of hope for some of the more developing regions like our own. But getting back towards this game here, going towards the snipers now, having a bit of a look towards those guys, NP and Thunder for HG and PENTA respectively. I feel like once again we're going to see HG having a bit of an advantage in this situation. Thunder, for me, he's probably been one of the quieter snipers among all of them in all the teams. So NP, I feel like, has an advantage in this situation as well.
Yeah, it's true, but I would say that NP probably hasn't been sniping as much as we expected, and particularly in the last couple of matches we've seen. So it will be interesting to see whether he, as the order, will make the decision to pick up that sniper early on, or whether he's going to leave it in his toolbox to bring it out later, perhaps when the game needs something to shift the momentum back into the favour if they're on the back foot.
Yeah, well, the map that we really saw him really making use of that sniper rifle mostly was Ankara, which is actually going to come up 4th in the map pool here. So perhaps we might not even see it if it goes 3-0. We'll have to see. But Port, the first map here, do you see NP picking the sniper rifle up on that map?
I think he won't pick it up initially. I think he will wait and potentially just sort of play it situationally, really. And as well, PENTA probably aren't a team that default to the sniper all the time. And FaZe likes to pick it up on the defensive side. So we'll definitely see it out there. There's no doubt about that. But it'll be interesting to see whether they stick for one or maybe even go for a double setup at some point, and whether they want to use that on the offensive side as well as the defensive side.
Yeah, so moving there now onto the second map, Subbase in the map pool. And this is a map that we've seen PENTA play actually quite a bit. They went up against EPLZ on it, and they actually ended up losing 10-6. But later in the stages of the tournament, they went up against INTZ, and they defeated INTZ on that one. So PENTA have, I guess, got a lot of experience in terms of this tournament on that map.
Yeah, HG are pretty strong on Subbase as well, so you can't rule them out. It's something, I feel it's a map that allows them enough for their pick style without really being too open for them. So I can see that being a pretty interesting battle on Subbase. Yeah,
and the third map is going to be Black Widow, and I feel now, just having a look at those first 3 maps, that HG are sitting in a pretty reasonable spot in terms of the map pool there, because really we've been hearing so much about the defensive aspect of the Chinese gameplay on Black Widow that it is going to be difficult here for PENTA. So if they don't pick up that map, that first map on Port, they're in danger there, I think, of getting 3-0'd.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree as well. Black Widow are definitely put in HG's favour. Their defensive work on that side is going to really lock it down as well. So you're going to see guys like Minnow and WQ being really effective on bomb sites. But having said that, PENTA's defensive mindset is pretty good as well. So I guess what we saw on Subbase against INTZ, Rain on that A side playing around the truck there quite a number of times, getting 2 and 3 Ks. So really, over these 3 maps, I'll agree with you. We're certainly looking for a bias on Black Widow towards HG, or favour towards them as well. Subbase, I reckon Subbase is probably 60-40 in favour of HG. Porter is really a 50-50 for me.
Yeah, and I think the 4th map in the pool, Ankara, is about a 50-50 there as well. And then finally, we move on to Mexico as the 5th map if we do get there. And from what we've been hearing, HG is they tend to favor Mexico just a little bit less than the other maps. So perhaps if we head towards that 5th map, there might be an opening there for Penta.
Yeah, Penta are really going to have to brawl early on and really scrape for a win in the first 4 maps, or get the 2 of those up in the first 4 maps. Otherwise, I mean, if they can get to that Mexico, that 5th map, if it has to go to 5, they'd probably favour their chances quite strongly if they're put into that position. But they've got to fight really hard to get to that point, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. So predictions here for you, Mike. Do you see HG picking this one up or Penta?
Sorry, which map to start with?
Port.
Port. I'm going to favour, I think I'll go with Penta for Port. I think I like sort of how they go about it, and I think they're going to be pretty effective there. I think HG will. It's not going to be like a wide margin at all. We probably see this. I can see it's being a 10-8 in favour of Penta, so I'm going to back that in.
What about overtime?
Overtime,
Could go overtime.
Certainly, yeah. No, it will be interesting to see overtime. Of course, the overtime format being MR3, so 3 rounds on the global risk, 3 rounds on the blacklist, and then if we can't decide a winner after that, it's into the golden round.
All right, and then I guess in the grand scheme of things, overall, who do you see winning the grand final?
I can't go past HG. They've just been so impressive throughout this tournament. The teamwork, their flexibility, NP's decision-making as well has been pretty solid on the offensive side, so I'm thinking it's going to be a HG victory, but having backed Penta in that first map, it's going to be a 3-1. Can't see it going to a 5th.
Yeah, I feel like if Penta's going to win this one, it'll be a 3-2 in their favour, but for me as well, HG, if they were to pick this one up, it would probably be looking towards that 3-1, even potentially a 3-0 here. The Port map, 50-50 toss-up for me. Sub-Base and Black Widow, I think, are going to be relatively easy, I think, here for HG to pick up.
Yeah, particularly Black Widow.
Yes.
I really can't see Penta picking that one up as well. I think HG is just going to be too strong on the defensive side. They could start on the offensive side and be pretty comfortable no matter what rounds they get on that side. That's how well they back their game on that map.
Yeah, and I guess now, interestingly enough, you kind of also need to factor in that 6th man. So in terms of the crowd, if the likes of HG start to, I guess, get in a bit of a rut, there is a few, I guess, war cries that the Chinese fans tend to use to try and fire up their teams. They did try to get it there for EPLZ up against INTZ, and it didn't work out in that situation, but we'll see whether or not HG can draw off it.
Yeah, certainly. The 6th man is definitely an advantage in this arena. We're pretty much full here at Tianhe Stadium. It's been a really great turnout from the Chinese locals, and I think that Penta will probably want to get to a good start just so they can silence that off and focus in and get into that rhythm of gameplay. If they get off to a shaky start and there's some of those scenarios, maybe a 3 versus 2 that they should win, or a 2 versus 1 that they should win but then don't, and then the roar of the crowd that comes on, it's really going to try and probably get in their head a little bit there.
Yeah, I certainly tend to agree. And we can go back to Port, I guess, off the back of that, because that is going to be the first map where they're going to need to be able to get that early advantage. And for me, I feel like the defense on Port is relatively okay for Penta on that A-bomb site. I think the B-bomb site, just a little bit more of an opening there for HG. Obviously, we tend to at least see Rain and Flex playing on that A-bomb site around the stairs area. And that seems to be somewhat, I guess, impenetrable for opposing teams. So for me, I think HG should probably head more towards the mid and more towards the A-bomb site.
Yeah, it'll be really
the B-bomb site, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It'll really be interesting to see how much preparation both of these teams have done in terms of what default setups there as well. And the best way to counter any strategies that are being used to counter what you normally do is to keep a variation in your defensive setup. So Penta will need to make sure that they're not playing the same round in, round out. So they're shifting maybe 3 into mid one round or stacking 3 on A if that happens to be hit. You've got to be flexible at this level. You can't just be sitting on your default, sitting on your laurels and doing nothing. You have to keep those options wide open, and that's going to be a key if they are going to get some seriously good rounds on the defensive side for Port.
Yeah, it is going to be, I guess, one of those maps where if you don't get off to a good start, HG could really just run over you. And we haven't actually seen HG losing a single game, or even a single map, I guess, in this sense, because they've only played one map
best of
series so far. So HG, they haven't even really been touched at all. They kind of have looked impenetrable in this tournament. Penta, on the other hand, have looked a little bit shaky at times. They've had a bit more of a streaky run coming here into the grand final, but they have played a fair few more games, actually, than HG. So have had a bit more, I guess, warm-up time in this tournament, but I don't think that's going to affect HG too much.
No, I think the confidence that we've seen within HG, the calls that they're going to bring home this cup for China, and not just themselves, they want to do it for their country as well, shows a lot of pride and a lot of expectation on themselves and a real desire to win there as well. So I think overall, PENTA certainly up against it, and form-wise, HG much stronger. But, you know, it doesn't take a lot really to put a team off their game at times. And that's, I guess, since HG have been in one or two scenarios throughout this tournament where they have been down a little bit and then come back with pretty reasonable streaks, where they're going to be able to do that again against PENTA over a series of 5 maps as well, because this is an area that we haven't seen either team.
Yeah, and I guess we can go back to that because, well, anyway, let's just skip that for a moment. Have a look at the player profiles here for the PENTA Sports players, and obviously you'll all be very familiar with these players because they've been playing so many matches this tournament. FaZe, of course, the order there, first cab off the rank for PENTA Sports. Next up is going to be Loons, one of the more impressive attackers, I think, there for PENTA Sports.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree with that. He has been popping up with some very vital rounds for his team. We move on through to the sniper, Thunder. Of course, he will probably be going up in battles against NP. Not always picking it up, more of a part-time sniper, I feel. And when there's Thunder, there's Rain. And of course, he is the attacker, favorite weapon, AK-47. And like we've mentioned a few times, been a really good player.
Yeah, rounding off the side there is Flex. But for me, I think the key player, at least on this top lineup for PENTA Sports, is going to be Rain, whether or not he can fire up. He seems also to me to be somewhat of like a barometer for the PENTA Sports players. You know, when he's on fire, they're playing well. He's getting really hyped up, really G'ing up the team, so to speak. And I think, yeah, that'll be important as well for PENTA Sports here. They need to keep their momentum going, and they need to keep their mental aspect positive.
Yeah, certainly so. And the key with this sort of, in this sort of environment, in a grand final, high pressure, what you really need is you just need everyone to play your role and hopefully just lift up a little bit for the grand final performance. But yeah, they just need an even performance from every member. If they're able to put that in, they're going to put themselves in the right direction to take on the Titan that is HG.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be, I guess, a difficult task here for PENTA. They've already improved on their result from last year. They came 4th at the CFS Grand Finals 2015. HG.Longzhu obviously weren't even sort of a thing at that point. So I guess going back to the 2014 Grand Finals, the thing that you've got to remember is that China have pretty much been, I guess, the nation in terms of crossfire. So, you know, there's a lot riding on the shoulders here for HG, a lot of pressure. They need to keep that trophy at home, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, that's certainly true as well. Of course, the Pro League is regularly played here in China, so it really is the top scene, and we're comparing domestically across the world. So that's why the expectation is on HG.Longzhu. And we can see rounding out that, of course, was the full PENTA team. They're looking fairly relaxed. I don't think this occasion's just getting to them yet.
No, not just yet, but well, we'll see what happens as the first map starts to get underway, because that's when everything matters, I guess. And now, moving over to the HG lineup will be NP, of course, coming out first, but there you go. The Chinese crowd giving him a round of applause, almost a cheer, trying to G them up just a little bit.
Certainly, sniper order, making the decisions and trying to get the picks there as well. Harlan, the attacker. And again, Chinese crowd showing a lot of support for the individual players within this team. They're very passionate about every single member.
WN99 coming up next here. An attacker, I think he's probably been one of the quieter players there for HG. WQ, for me, has been sort of the standout rifler, at least for HG.
Yeah, that's certainly true. We spoke about WQ earlier on and his real positional ability there as a backup player. And Minnow as well. I feel like his defensive side has been pretty good throughout this tournament as well. All right, so there is, of course, what both teams are playing for to become the world champion, the champion of Crossfire Stars 2015. Here at Guangzhou, China, Tianhe Stadium, the Chinese have turned out in great numbers and showing really a lot of support for their team as well. We're not too far away from getting started here. And of course, like we mentioned earlier, I'll run through the order list of the maps. We're starting off on Port, following on to Sub Base, then Black Widow, and if needed, Ankara, and finally Mexico. So we're playing the full pool of maps as well, which is something fairly unusual within the shooter scene, really.
Yeah, the crowd's so loud here I can barely hear myself think, but it's really cool to see here actually in the stadium when they turn the lights off. You can see all of the lights from the crowd, the flashlights. I guess they get a little bit of a goodie bag, I think, when they come in, and they hold these little lights on their hands and they're all waving them around. It's kind of sick to see.
Yeah, it certainly is. They get these little LEDs on the fingers as well, and they roll around and they're on strings, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, look at the national pride there as well. WQ there. Looking for a big output from him. Those key frags as well.
I don't know what that says because I don't speak Chinese, but
Well, it says Darkzy on the top.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I got that much.
Yeah, okay.
But that doesn't
Just
mean
making
anything
sure,
to
mate.
me.
And again, lots and lots of support for the Chinese team. And this is really, you just see what PENTA are up against. They're not only up against 5, they're up against 5 plus about 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 people here, really. There's not too many people in the crowd supporting for PENTA. There are a few there, which is great to see. But yeah, overall, overwhelmingly Chinese, which is not unsurprising.
Yeah, I was just actually Josh, our host, before the event, and we kind of estimated with a quick bit of bad math that there would be about 2,000 people on either side of the stadium. So we're thinking around 4,000 spectators are here now. So anyway, let's have a look at the map. It's going to be Port, of course. We've spoken about it already a little bit, but it looking like, I mean, HG, I think, have played this a fair bit. They played up against Pacific Macta, got a 10-7 result on this one. So, you know, I mean, we sort of said that it was a 50-50, but I think now that I've kind of had a bit more of a think about it, I am leaning towards HG a little bit more now.
Okay, all right. I'm going to stick with a 50-50 on this one. And speaking about the map itself, the key area here, just up on the right, just as we went past there, the connector between mid and A has proved to be really a key sort of area to occupy as the offensive side. If you're able to get in there and able to move around a little bit, it proves pretty useful as well. And the other thing that we like to see here as we'll go towards this B bomb site is, of course, these contact plays that were coming out of the B site. It's proven to be, there's a lot of firefights coming out into this area, and they're really exciting. So I can see a couple of those sorts of plays coming out, particularly from HG. They really like to set themselves towards those contact kind of plays.
Yeah, I think that'll actually work in the favor a little bit there of PENTA, because I don't know which side Rain is going to be playing on, but I feel like he's actually a really good defender in those really 1 versus 3 situations where he gets a big sort of a spray down opportunity.
Yeah.
I feel like he does tend to pick those up a lot more than a lot of the other players. So if they can, I guess, utilize Rain and put him in those positions, that could put them in a really good stead heading into this map.
Yeah, his multi-kill ability is very, very strong. Certainly agree with you there. And this is it. We are into the grand final. HG.Longzhu starting on the attacking side. PENTA on the defensive. That will suit them, hopefully. Of course, the bias being here as well. An early play, getting into that connector area that I said was so important. It's a phase there. And really actually putting quite a lot of presence towards the A bomb side.
Yeah, this is, I guess, a position that isn't entirely used often by the defending side, so perhaps might catch HG off guard. They do like to come up through this connector towards the A-bomb site, and having 2 PENTA players there is going to make things, I guess, a little bit easier in the trade situation there for PENTA, but at the moment it looks like HG is starting to move towards that B-bomb site, and Rain, the player that we spoke about in those explosion situations, is playing there solo actually on the B-bomb site. So he will need to at least get a couple of frags if he wants to really carry his weight, I guess, in terms of in this entry.
Yeah, Loons is not too far off on the rotate, though, but Rain is the man who is going to have to do a lot of work if HG decide to go through. In fact, Loons, very, very quiet here. Very, very close by. Not really watching mid here at all. They've dropped out of the A connector. This is PENTA, that is. They've decided that That's going to be a B hit, and they're moving across pretty early on, leaving that A site now just with one.
Yeah, this is tense moments. 1 minute left on the clock here for HG to make their move. They are going to start to come out on the B bomb site. Loons finding a double kill to start us off. It is going to be Rain to find another one there onto Harlan, and immediately only 2 players left alive here for HG. Rain finding his second for the round. Minnow is going to go down there to Loons as well. So a really strong hold on that bomb site there for Penta Sports.
You cannot go much stronger than that. Excellent play there from Rain and Loons, baiting for each other, sort of getting the focus from one player onto the other, stepping out individually at different times, really confusing the players for HG.Longzhu. Really well done site defense there from Penta, and a very important. In fact, this stadium has gone dead quiet now because of that.
It's almost quieter than it was last night when there was no one in here.
Yeah, almost. Not quite there.
I can still hear 1 or 2 whistles just like going on.
Yeah, come on HG. Early days yet, of course. Penta have got a long way to go if they want to take down HG. And similarly, HG, you know, they want back.
What?
Ooh, there was a little bit of a tag there.
I felt sure that was going to...
I think that went through the box there, or the box in the wall or something.
Maybe he hit him through the wall and legged him. I don't know. But I felt sure that was going to be dead on. Anyway, didn't happen in the end there, and that's a little unfortunate there for Penta.
Yeah, and it looks like they want to head back towards HG. This is head back towards the B side initially, but the bomb hasn't committed yet. It's floating around in the mid-B connector. Flex picking up NP early on. That's going to be very important. They just need to play smart here, fall back defensive, make sure they're not going to get too overconfident now they've got a round on the board. They need to settle into this gameplay and play smartly.
Yeah, WN99 going to bring back that player advantage, making it a 4 versus 4. So working the map just a little bit is HG, and getting that advantage away again from Penta. And a 4 versus 4, we've sort of spoken about this before, is it does tend to favor the attacking side, opening up those bomb sites just a tiny bit, so they are able to make entries just a little bit easier.
Loons is lurking here on the right side of A as the offensive side comes up with it, and this isn't a particularly good position. This is a one and done position, but Thunder has got a pick from mid. He's going for a re-peek as well. But what will happen here, if Loons comes, or if they come up towards this site where Loons is lurking, he'll get one, but he'll almost instantly get traded back.
Well, let's see what he can do. There's 30 seconds on the clock. WN99 going to be the one probably to get the first contact. It is looking like Loons is going to be able to take him down now. WQ coming in for the trade, but not going to really be able to do much damage there to Loons. And they're just sort of playing peekaboo with each other around that box. We do see Minnow, though, taking down Rain now. Minnow looking for a kill there onto Loons. He's going to find it. Fantastic positioning here from Minnow. He gets a lot of damage down there onto Thunder. Flex gets taken down by WQ, and Minnow closes out the round. Where did that come? Was that a 2 versus 4?
Yeah, it certainly was. That was incredible play there by Minnow and WQ. And look, that is why WQ has really been such a great play there. In that instance, taking the hit initially and then allowing Minnow to come through as well, up from the mid. Perfect timing on the flank there, catching out a couple of people off guard. Really well-timed, well-positioning play there from the players there. One apiece now, and that brought the stadium back alive. Where we go back into this lull here as HG.Longzhu search around the map, try and find it somewhere to get a peek, to get a bit of information, but it hasn't worked out for them. WN99, again, the early frag going in the way of Penta, but this time they need to capitalize on this advantage. Make sure they don't peak again.
Yeah, Penta have been doing a good job, actually, of getting those early frags. They've got it every single round so far, and that does tend to put HG on the back foot. They're sort of moving back towards the B bomb site once again, so I guess recreating that first round that we did see. Of course, Penta, though, were able to pick that one up with relative ease. We did see Rain and Flex coming up huge. Let's see what happens here. It is going to be Minnow, though, to find the first frag there onto Flex. Important frag as they enter towards the bomb site. Rain is still alive, though, on that site. He has popped down just below the site as we do see the bomb go down there. FaZe has also joined on towards this B bomb site as well as Loons, but Loons is going to go down straight away. NP picking that one up. Now looking like a 4 versus 3. Minnow is pretty low, but still alive, and that is what is important here for HG, as we do see Penta starting to try and make entries onto the bomb site in the retake scenario. Rain is going to find one there. Harlan doing a lot of damage, but FaZe, he's going to find one there onto NP. Now it's a 3 versus 4, and the bomb timer ticking down slowly but surely. We do see Harlan just hiding here. The defuse coming out. He sticks it and he gets it.
The Ninja in the corner. That was an incredible play. A really, really gutsy play there as well. Great bait there. WQ and Minnow getting caught up in the action there, while quietly in the corner the defuse comes in. Fantastic play there, 2-1 for Penta. They had no idea that was happening. It was fantastic to see the balls on that guy. Like, geez, that was huge. To try that play in this scenario where they had only a slight numbers advantage is incredible. But that's sometimes what you need to take on somebody like HG.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter how many players you lose, just as long as you win the round, and that's what matters there for Penta. They're already 2-1 up here. Obviously, a little bit of a defensive bias on this map, but good things coming here for Penta. They're making those, I guess, ballsy plays, and they're working out. So they're taking the risks, and the risk-reward scenario is working in their favor for the moment.
Certainly right there. And we can see a little bit of play coming through in mid. NP has pulled out the sniper on this occasion. He's trying to find something to work for as well. A little bit of damage on Thunder from an 8 and WN99. Currently the HB situation favors Penta. Just like the scoreline, it's only slightly at this stage. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. HG taking their time, trying to set up, trying to figure out what they're going to do. They've taken control of this A connector here, area here, but there's 3 waiting for them on the A site. FaZe, Loons, and Thunder. Flex sitting in mid.
Yeah, wouldn't mind seeing the Penta Sports guys use that boost up into that connector again and see what they can get from that, because not something I think that HG would be particularly expecting. But anyway, 55 seconds left here in the round. It is starting to wind down just a bit, and HG are, of course, congregating towards this A bomb site. Loons once again in that sort of one and done position. So whether or not he can really make use of that is, I think, going to be the crucial part of this round.
HG, you're going to have to try and get a lot of information here. I reckon the smart play is to try and hit A. If they see these 3 players, is to leg it back to B and catch Penta on that rotate. Come back across, but they're not leaving enough time for that. 25 seconds, the hit comes in.
Yeah, Loons is going to find one frag, does go down, the one and done position once again, reigning supreme, I guess reigning true. Flex is going to find NP there. He actually grabs a double kill, grabbing Harlan in the end. He is going to be taken down by Minu. WQ takes 1, WQ takes 2. Rain is going to go down here. Surely it's WQ. No, it's not. Rain closes that one out there for Penta.
WQ just running out of bullets at the most awkward moment for him, and Rain getting it done there, holding his nerves. 3-1 now in favor of Penta. I really feel like H2 just didn't give themselves an opportunity there, enough time to make that execute. Just leaving a little bit too late, not getting enough information before making that decision to go through. Couple of key scenarios there, late round scenarios going in favor of Penta at this point. First the defuse, and then their Rain again, just clutching it through there.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that can sort of tilt a team. Not sure exactly, I guess, how much of a tilty team HG is, but, you know, if you were a tilty team, when these sort of things start to creep into the game, you do sort of start to get a little bit angry. So we'll have to see, I guess, how that affects them in the coming rounds. But at the moment, they are getting a tiny little bit of an advantage just because of that damage that they've done here to Loons. But we are going to see Thunder there taking away the sniper rifle, as I think he's pretty much been taking that every round, and no sniper rifle there on the side of HG. So I guess you were right in your prediction with the fact that MP probably won't be picking up that sniper too much.
Yeah, that's correct. We can see it's a congregation back to B that hasn't had a lot of information at the moment. They might have figured it out. There's quite a few sitting on mid, on the bridge in mid there. Rain again playing, this is his preferred box here. He's pretty good. He gets one early frag. The headshot comes in. The Loons picks up another one.
Yeah, 2 important frags there for Penta, and once again they are getting the advantage. We do see Flex chiming in with another as he rotates across. Thunder, all the players here from Penta just getting a piece of the pie, so to speak. It is going to be Rain, though, to close it out. He found himself a double kill, so only FaZe to miss out there, I think it was.
Correct. Really, this B side is starting to look pretty tough to get into. Rain and Flex in that scenario, and Loons as well coming the quick rotate often from the top of mid. Really proving too strong at this point, and well, except for that one occasion where the post-plant scenario didn't go their way. But Penta building up a nice lead here. They're probably going to get to 6 rounds will be a pass for them. 7 rounds will be that point where they think, you know what, we've got a really good opportunity to take this port map.
Yeah, and well, from this point onwards, I think 7 rounds is certainly achievable, but I guess we'll see what has to come from here. Only a few rounds left in this half, but already you can hear the HG support coming out here.
Yeah, they're basically chanting HG, turn it up, put a bit of oil you know.
Yeah, it
set
literally
alight.
translates to, I think, put more petrol in, which is supposed
As
to be.
in, step on the gas. Come on, let's do it. Let's go. And they
let's go.
really need to at this point. This is the point. This is the key point in this half where if Penta keep this up, they're going to run away with it.
Yeah, this round actually incredibly crucial in the grand scheme of things. If Penta pick this one up, as you say, they're going to have a huge wave of momentum just to roll over HG in the following couple of rounds of this half, and then just bring that over towards their second half. But again, we are going to see HG come towards this B bomb site. Not a wise decision in my opinion, but we'll see how it goes. Thunder is going to find the first frag there. Minnow getting spotted out by Flex, but he does land a nice headshot. Takes him down. Now Rain going to rotate just a little bit off the side. He goes down. NP finds one as well. The double kill for NP. FaZe comes back, responds, but it is a 3 versus 1. So in the end, I'm wrong and HG is right. They're going to be able to surely pick this one out, barring a fantastic play from FaZe, which is not going to happen.
WQ with a really great timing there, stepping out while the focus was on his teammate there, picking up the frag, finishing off the round there for HG, pulling it back, and that was really important for HG to stay in touch in this map. Of course, that this defensive bias is against them, but if you can just if you peg your rounds, sometimes it's better to peg a round. If you're only going to get 3.5, let's say, sometimes it's good to get them in. You know, if you lose one and you lose a couple after that, just get one in there. Even if that means, even if what happens is if you lose another 2, you pick up the last one. It's just a mental game there. And the crowd laughing at the fact that one of the Penta players can't quite make a jump there. It's tricky, those movement is sometimes an underrated feature within, as a skill this is within FPS games.
Yeah, we do see FaZe there though up in the A connector, so it is I guess locked off at the moment, at least for Penta. And HG, not really too interested in it. I don't think they've really utilized it too much this map. Maybe one round?
Yeah, a couple of times. I think it's twice they've gone onto A, so they have utilized it to get up close to negate any potential of the sniper getting into play. And you can see they're going to work in here. FaZe is going to have quite a bit. There's 2 coming towards him, but he needs to play this angle smartly. WQ is lurking. So is Harlan. Could be a double here for FaZe. He sprays. Out comes the nade. He gets taken out by WQ though. Pushing through onto the side. He gets a second. No, he doesn't. Unable to get the kill.
Yeah, caught Thunder just a little bit off guard there, but it is going to be WQ in the end to take him down, and it's a 5 versus 3 situation here. WQ just coming up huge, looking for the kill onto Rain, but Rain will be the one to reign supreme, I guess, there, for lack of a better word.
WN99 holding off the rotate there from well, but the bomb hasn't gone down yet because Minnow and Empty have forced their way onto the B side, getting Flex there. Bomb is going down, ticking away now. Loons and Rain have got 4 to take care of.
This is starting to look a little bit dangerous now for Penta. They are risking giving up a few rounds. Loons, though, on low HP, is able to find Minnow, but in the end, it is going to be HG to close out that round. But I want to go back to that because I feel like Penta is sort of just letting the noose get a bit looser, I guess, because they did have HG under wraps for a moment there, but now it's starting to look like HG is coming back.
Yes, the noose is getting loose. You are certainly correct. The grip that Penta had on this half is slowly but surely getting gripped away. That's 2 rounds here. But Thunder with a great pick on Andy there, pushing down the A long there. He's got another one. Now
Surely
he's opting to fall
WQ
back.
there.
He did. He saw them. He was there for it. WQ wisely not re-peeking there. Thunder, though, you're playing with fire in that scenario, getting out stuck in that wide open.
I guess they just wanted to try and do something to catch HG off guard, and it worked out there. And perhaps that's kind of what they needed. They did lose 2 rounds in a row, so they wanted to, I guess, just quickly get the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, and it's about the pace of the game and what HG are doing, and allowing them to feel, or stopping them to be feeling too comfortable on that attacking side, moving around the map with freedom. They want to just sort of put a dampener on that and say, hey, look, you can't just take this area wherever you feel like. This is contested area. This isn't yours. We're able to disrupt you if we want to. And that's the thought they're putting in the offensive side.
Yeah, Harlan playing a very dangerous game here. If he peeks around that box, it could be Thunder going huge, but at the moment looking like HG is going to execute towards this side. Tons of flashbangs. That's going to really mess up Thunder's day. And wow, look at this. He's just completely white the whole time. And well, the players from HG are going to get underneath that bomb site, but they do need to utilize, I guess, the height and get up there so that they can plant the bomb. FaZe holding an interesting position, might be able to catch one off guard, but Flex will start us off here. WQ responds. WN99 is going to grab a double kill. Rain grabs Minnow there in response. It's back to a 2 versus 2. FaZe goes 1 for 1. He gets 2, and that is another round there for Penta Sports.
Great play there from FaZe. It's really underrated. We didn't quite see it on the action there, but he was lurking on the top of that ladder there. He knew he was there, able to get the first frag and then quickly wheel around while the focus from the other player was shooting, his teammate Pro there, and just finish off that round. Great play there from FaZe. Really patient as well. He had to hold that position for longer. If he exposed himself earlier, that round probably would have gone the other way. 3-5 the scoreline. HG only getting the 3 rounds, but there's probably about par for them. So if they can pick up this round, they're going to feel really confident going into the second half. But they still need to do that. Penta is certainly still in this match. If they pick up this 6, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, a very crucial round once again coming out here. And 5-3. Yeah, I'd have to tip this towards HG if they do manage to pick this last one up. But again, playing relatively slowly. 1 minute 40 left on the clock here. And HG really not making too many aggressive movements towards either of the bomb sites. They do have NP there with the sniper, so playing that pick game just a little bit. Penta Sports, on the other hand, do have a sniper on the side of Thunder and FaZe. So some pick gameplay coming out from both teams. Yeah.
Flex and Harlan lurking around each other in mid here. They don't quite, I'm not sure they know. Here he flashes in, nades in rather, does the spam. Great work there from Flex. A fantastic game awareness and map awareness to be able to execute that really well. WQ's come back and he wants to get a trade here, and he's going to jump up into this A connector area. That's how you do a jump. We've seen him do it a number of times. First time, every time. 55 seconds left back on the clock. The bomb's at A-long as well, so it looks like they're going to try and get into A. Perhaps a little bit wary of the B hole that has happened on some, has occurred a few times in this half.
Yeah, I feel like that A execute actually worked out for them in the last round. It was just off the back of a fantastic play from FaZe that they weren't able to pick that round up. So I definitely can see the sense here in HG pushing towards the A bomb site. Flex, though, is going to take down Minnow. That'll make things even more difficult. 5 versus 3. These frags are going to have to come across quickly for HG, but they're not, as we do see Thunder taking down a double kill with the pistol. NP will trade him out in response, but now it's a 1 versus 4. He's got the sniper rifle to work with, but I'd have to say, in this situation, NP is going to have a little bit of difficulty. We do see Flex coming around from behind, but it is going to be Loons to close it out there. And 6 rounds for Penta, 3 for HG. Pretty even for me, I feel.
Yeah, no, I'd certainly agree with that. That's par for the course for Port. Going to be an interesting second half. So we've seen how Penta, and I really liked overall, they had a couple of great rounds there. HG maybe trying to get into that B side on a couple of occasions, not really working out. It did on one occasion, but generally it was pretty tough. So opting towards A was a good play, but maybe they did that a little bit too later towards in that half. Penta adapting pretty well, pretty flexible in their setups on defensive side as well. But we're going to have to see how they choose to go on that. We can see Thunder already picking up the sniper.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see what sort of a strategy Penta employs here, because I feel like they tend to play a little bit quicker than HG. So they might just decide to explode straight onto to the B bomb site, or of course they could go towards the A bomb site, which at the moment does seem like what they're doing. Well, you'll see FaZe peeking the corner here. He's going to have a bit of a duel perhaps against NP. They're not going to spot each other out just yet, and Penta Sport's going to rotate away from there. So looking like a B hit might be on the cards here for Penta.
Not yet committed to anywhere just yet, although the bomb is just being dropped outside the B halls at this stage. You can see Rain on screen picking it up there. So looking like we are going to tend towards the B. Not going to be the greatest sort of idea here. We can see a push here, in fact, from HG.
This is very interesting and perhaps uncharacteristic from HG. It hasn't really caught Penta off guard too badly. They do get a little bit of information off it, though. So a good, reasonable push coming out from HG there.
Yeah, not overcommitting, which is important there. They saw the play, they fell back. They got a bit of information. That's what they're after. 1 minute, 6 seconds left on the clock. B hit looks to be the option at this point. They saw 2. They don't realize that there was a 3rd pretty close by in this A side as well. Penta still got to decide. Not sure whether they have enough information here.
Yeah, well, I mean, information or no, they're going to have to go relatively shortly. 45 seconds left or thereabouts, and it is going to be very difficult now. We've got WN99 and Minnow here on this B bomb site. Minnow playing the regular position. Loons will find the first frag onto NP. FaZe grabbing 1, but Minnow and WN99 grab 1 apiece. Rain, though, responds straight away, takes them out, and Loons will close out the round there. A very quick one in terms of how quick the kills came across once the engagement started.
Yeah, that's a great take there. 7-3. Only the first round in this second half, so it's certainly not looking dire circumstances for HG just yet. Still got a lot of work to do. But PENTA really not too fast yet. Thunder comes through, picks up the sniper. He's a little bit low on HP. 7 has been taken off just at this stage. And Nade coming down early from the top of mid.
3 rounds away is PENTA from picking up the first map, and we did speak about how important this first map would actually be for PENTA, because we're expecting HG to be able to pick up Sub-Base and Black Widow without too many difficulties. So if PENTA can close this one out something like 10-4 or 10-5, they'll have a pretty decent amount of momentum, as we do see NP going for the snipe. He re-peeks, picks it up on the second shot. He does take down Thunder as well. Nice shot coming out there from NP.
That was a complete bait play as well. So the first kill was entirely to pick out the location of that. Flex comes back. WQ gets one. Rain takes him down there. 2 versus 3. The 3 in favor of HG.
Yeah, I mean, not too bad of a situation here for PENTA after that double kill. But as I say that, it is going to be WN99 to take down FaZe. And a 1 versus 3 now for Rain. He has got the bomb around him, but really not much you can do about it. Actually, it's stuck up there on the crate. He's going to have to go all the way around through the A connector to grab that one.
Yeah, that's a little awkward there for him, but he knows the scenario and he knows what he will need to do here. Interestingly enough, no information here from HG whatsoever. They still left this A site completely open. Given where that hit was, that's an interesting maneuver. Harlan is lurking through a mid-range, now going through to pick up that bomb. Plenty of time for him to work this here. Harlan coming by. He knows what's going on here. He's on the lurk.
Yeah, he'll have to make this jump very quietly, though, because Rain might just catch him off. But, wow, the timing down to the milliseconds. WN99, he didn't even spot Rain. He's going to go for the duel, but it is going to be WN99 to win. And, well, I feel like a lot of stars aligned there for Rain, but wasn't able to pull it off in the end.
Yeah, so that flank coming through really close behind him there as well. And we can see the VIP section, some of our caster friends up the top there.
Yeah.
Anyway, PENTA not too disturbed about it. Looks like they're changing the pace a little bit, getting up into this B hill area. It's going to be a quick B hitter here. Out they come.
Yeah, Minnow is going to be taking the first engagement, but he drops off there. He will find one frag there onto Thunder. WN99 taking down Flex as well. A 3 versus 5 now for PENTA Sports. They are trying to get the bomb down, but it doesn't matter because NP is going to drop the bomb carrier. And no deaths at all there for HG.
Absolute carnage there on the B side. The change of pace has done nothing for them whatsoever there. And we're straight back into the next round. HG getting a couple of rounds in a row, pulling it back 7-5. It looks like they were getting into that position where maybe this map was starting to slip away from them, but they've really recovered very well. 7-5, like I said. PENTA now, they need to come up with a different option, a different way of attacking this.
Yeah, they certainly do. 2 rounds in a row going over to HG, as you say, and now PENTA, the momentum is against them, and that's something that they've been able to utilize, that momentum, when it's been in their favor. It is, though, going to be relatively difficult to get it back now that we see HG starting to get the crowd involved as well. So, dangerous times now for PENTA. If they lose another couple of rounds here in a row, I suspect that HG will be able to run away with it, but I guess it all comes down to what happens in this round. So a very crucial one in the grand scheme of things.
Yes, Thunder, I would like to see Thunder get really and try and pick B site with the sniper here. I think that's something we haven't seen them do yet, and I think that could be a good option there because we know the spotting play that these HG players have been doing around that box area. Potentially come out, use that advantage you get as you're stepping out to try and get that pick on the site, and then just go with that contact play. Once you've been spotted, everyone roll out behind it. But at this point, B wouldn't be the best option because there's 3 sitting there nice and close by. 1 on the top mid, 2 in the side itself. WQ right back on the A-bomb site. Minnow lurking around in this mid area. And that's where most of PENTA are at the moment. The bomb, though, sitting back towards B.
Yeah, it does seem like it'll be a B hit coming out here for PENTA Sports. They have tended to favor that one on their offensive side. And once again, just running that timer down, they will explode onto that bomb site probably around 30 seconds or so. We'll see what happens. It is going to be Harlan, WN, and Minnow for HG to take, I guess, the brunt of the impact here coming out for PENTA Sports. Now, there's going to be Flex taking a fair bit of damage through the wall there. Thunder takes a tiny bit as well, but really nothing to write home about. Minnow popping up from underneath the crate, finds one. NP and WN99 chiming in with one apiece as well. No players dropped it just yet for HG. Rain will go down as well. WN picking up the final frag and another round there for HG.
This B-side defense looking impenetrable now. We saw it on a few occasions where Penta were on the defensive side. HG have said, what you can do, we can do better. We're here to play for this. We're here to get this done as quick as we can. 7-6 now. They're still behind on the scoreboard, but currently right now, all the momentum in their favor.
Yeah, and well, this is going to be tough now for Penta Sports, I feel, because I think whoever took that last round was going to be leading in towards a bit of a momentum swing, and yeah, Penta Sports, they've been looking a little flat in the last few rounds.
Yeah, you talk about key impact frags and key moments within maps. That was certainly one of them here. This time, scared off by what has happened on at B side. They're going back towards A. Last time we saw this, NP got a great double frag to start the round for HG. Is it going to be able to repeat his heroics? They're all bunched up in this connector. Here it comes.
Yeah, and Execute coming out onto that bomb site here. They need to completely flash out NP. Need to keep him away from this. It's Harlan in a great position. WQ as well doing a lot of work, but Loons will find Harlan. And I'm surprised actually that WQ didn't manage to find a frag there. Now NP defending the stairs there. Thunder will take him down. This is looking good now for Penta Sports. 4 versus 3. They've got control of the bomb site. WN99 will chime back, but Rain is going to take down WQ. Minnow finds one there onto FaZe. It's a 2 versus 2. Bomb not yet planted for Penta Sports, and Rain and Thunder have got a job to do. Minnow jumping off the ladder will find Rain. It's now a 1 versus 2. Thunder going to have to come up huge here, but it's not going to happen. Minnow, he picked up something like 4 frags in that round. That was massive.
Yeah, absolutely huge play there from Minnow. I'm not even sure how he got that third one there, but really that's just, yeah, you can see the Chinese crowd now. They're fired up here. Just some really amazing plays coming out from a number of their players, and really it's both sides not looking great for them. They're able to get near the side, but they're not able really to get out there and get that bomb down in any scenario now. 7 apiece, and I feel like that even Penta's ability to get back into this map is really sliding away here. HG playing with a lot of confidence now. There's been really good fragging coming out from their players.
4 rounds in a row for HG.Longzhu, and none of them have looked particularly risky, I would say. So they're sort of finding a bit of good form. They've found their feet in this game. But Penta Sports, I dare say they're not going to go down without a fight. There's still a fair amount of rounds to go here because both these teams are pretty evenly matched, and I would suspect eventually Penta Sports is going to find the crack for HG. They'll pick up a round here, but we'll have to see how HG responds from that situation.
Yeah, Penta looking like they're sort of a little bit out of options as we see NP nearly taking some hit points off his own life there, but luckily able to get away with it. We're seeing an A hit here again, so Penta evidently thought there was something that they could get out of this A execute, but 2 on the site this time. NP and WQ coming in.
The flashbang's raining across the A bomb site now. It's going to be NP and WQ. WQ holding the ladder. He's going to find the first frag. NP responds again with the second, and now it is looking like WQ is going to run away with this one. Harlan, in the meanwhile, has found one onto Rain, and now Thunder, he's in a 1 versus 3. WQ does go down, an important frag actually there for Penta, but in the end, it's not going to be enough as HG closes out the round.
8-7 now, HG taking the lead in this match. Crowd certainly getting hyped now that their team is on quite a winning streak. Penta, they're looking like they're out of options. They're looking like their strategy book is running dry. It's out of pages. They've gone to B, they've gone to A, they've gone to A, they've gone to B, they've gone back to A again a couple of times, and they just can't get that bomb down at all. They can't get themselves in a favourable post-plant scenario. They need to do something different here, perhaps try and get a flank through mid, like we saw Harlan do earlier on for HG. Something, they need to change it up here because what they're doing is not working.
I see 2 options here for Penta Sports. Either slowly pick down through mid, and kind of get a bit more mid control, because what we've been seeing them do is head towards the A bomb side or the B bomb side, but they haven't really worked mid too much. So there's an option 1. The other option probably is just going to be an all-out bum rush, basically, I guess, towards one of the bomb sites. And
they tried that earlier and it didn't work out too well on B. Perhaps a super fast execute onto A, maybe one lurking in mid, trying to push through and get those rotators off guard might be the better option here. But they are getting a lot of occupational territory here in mid. You've got 3 sitting in there. Rain is sitting back towards B. He has the bomb at this stage, but he's not committing too far. Certainly shouldn't go out and try and be a hero and try and make something happen for his team because he has that C4. But really, this slow play and then going back towards an execute, they need to potentially get FaZe now to get a pick. Really try and pick a side here.
Yeah, really important here for Penta to actually get the first frag in this round because HG have been so good in those positions where it's a 5 versus 5 or a 4 versus 4. And indeed, we do see the first frag going over to Penta here. That's courtesy of Loons. Double Q responds, but Flex traces it out immediately. Still an all-right situation here for Penta. They need to find this frag, but it is WN99 to find one. NP grabs another. Now a 1 versus 3, and once again, those 3 versus 3 situations, 4 versus 4 or 5 versus 5 situations going in the favor of HG. Penta really needs to get picks in these the early stages of these rounds, and they don't have much of a fallback to lean on because they're going to have to close it out from here.
Yeah, Penta showing a little bit of different strategy there. They try to get up the top of mid, but it doesn't really work now. Map point for HG.Longzhu. And really, like we spoke about before game, if this map port doesn't go the way of Penta, they're battling going to find themselves in a very uphill battle from here.
Yeah, WN99 actually coming up really big for his team in this half. We sort of spoke about how he's perhaps a little bit quiet compared to the rest of his teammates in this tournament, but showing up where it counts, and 11 kills.
Yeah.
And Minnow doing all right there on 8, but certainly Minnow and WN99, the players at the moment for HG that are the danger players, and Penta really going to need to pick them, I think, more importantly than anyone else.
I think what we need to see here from Penta is a fake and rotate back over to a different side here. So either fake B and go A or fake A and go B. Try and get through this mid area, smoke it off so you can allow yourself quick transit, because these all-out hits late in the round have not been working. They need to try and isolate some players a little better, because at the moment they're just using the cover in their bomb sites pretty well.
It seems to me, I guess, again, that Penta Sports starting to look towards that B bomb site. The C4 here being carried by FaZe in that direction. Minnow and WN99 have been almost an unstoppable object on this bomb site, and obviously one round here for HG is going to signal their map win. Still a few more maps after this, but let's see how this one goes. We do see WN99 grabbing one. A couple of kills actually going there over to HG. Penta did manage to grab one. WQ grabs 2. NP grabbing 1, and that is the first round going to HG. The crowd very pleased with that one.
Yeah, absolutely pumped there. Really, that was a great... They weren't in a